children, welcome back to our English grammar class. And in today's session, we are going to learn about nouns, gender. What? Nouns, gender. In our previous session, we have learned what is noun and what are the different types of nouns. And now, we are going to see its gender types. So, see here, there are 4 main genders in English language. How many types? There are 4 main types of nouns gender in English language. Okay? So, what are the types? See here, the first one is masculine. The second one is feminine. The third one is common. And the fourth one is neuter. So, these are the 4 types of nouns gender. Okay? So, now coming to the definition of each gender. So, already in your 4th standard, you have learnt about it. Each types of nouns gender. So, I repeat that again. See here, masculine. So, how will you define a masculine? It belongs to a male being. If you are referring the male of a person or a animal or a bird, then it is known as masculine gender. For example, if you take a person, Ramu, so it is the name of a boy, right? And if you take an animal, a lion. Or if you take a bird, you can say cock or rooster. So these are the male beings and it is known as masculine gender. Okay? Now coming to the next one, feminine. So how will you define a feminine gender? It belongs to a female. Okay? It belongs to a female beings. If you are talking about a girl or a woman or the female gender of an animal or a female gender of a bird, then it is known as feminine gender. Okay, so for example, if you take a Ram, here you can take any name like Jaya. And for lion, we have lioness. And for rooster in masculine gender, we here have the feminine gender as hen. Okay, so now coming to the next one is common gender. So how will you define a common gender? The common gender noun either male or female. What? Yes, either male or female. For example, if you take student, so if you are telling that he is a student in general, then the student may be a boy or a girl, right? The student may be a boy or a girl. So, student is a common gender. So, common gender means either male or female. Whereas coming to the neuter gender is neither male nor female. So, the difference between either or and neither or is male. Either male or female means male avum irkalam, female avum irkalam. Neither male nor female na இவங்க ரெண்டு பேர்ல யாருமே கிடையாது அப்படினு சொல்றாங்க. For example, if you take a stone, you can say it is a male stone or a female stone? No. It is commonly known as stone and that is known as neuter gender. Generally speaking, neuter gender, it comes only the non-living objects. Okay? So, these are the 4 main genders. So, now coming to our today's class, we are going to see some of the rules how to change a feminine gender word into masculine gender word into a feminine gender word by adding ESS or by removing some words. If you are speaking like that, if you take a masculine gender and a feminine gender, there are totally different words are there. For example, if you take husband in masculine gender, we have wife in feminine gender. And king, queen, like that. So, but in some cases, you can just change the masculine gender into feminine gender by adding or removing certain words. How? Now, we are going to see that. See the first rule given here. What is the first rule? Some nouns of the feminine gender can be formed by adding what? By adding ESS. Okay? By adding ESS to the nouns belong to masculine gender. So, if you are going to change a masculine gender into a feminine gender, you can just add ESS to that word to change into its feminine gender. And this is only for certain words and it is not for all the words. Okay? For certain words you can change from masculine gender we can take poet. Okay, so poet is a masculine gender. You know who is a poet? One who writes poem is known as poet. So how will you change it into a feminine gender? It is very simple. Just by adding ESS to the masculine gender. So you can just add ESS. Poetess. So poet is a masculine gender and poetess is a feminine gender. Okay, and we will see some other examples too, right? So count. So here count, it is not at all counting the money or counting something. Here the count, it is the highest rank in Europe. Okay, it is a rank. Okay, so count, it is a masculine gender. If a woman has the same rank, then how will you tell it? You can say by just adding ESS to it. How? See here, count plus ESS. Count, countess. Okay, and these two examples belongs to person. Now we will see some examples related to animal. I already told you, right? Lion. So lion. So it is a masculine gender, right? And to feminine gender, we can change it by just adding ESS to the word lion. So lioness. So it is a feminine gender. So this is our first rule. Some of the nouns of the feminine gender can be formed by just adding ESS to the nouns belong to masculine gender. Okay. Now coming to the second rule. What is the second rule given here? Sometimes the ESS is added. Okay. Sometimes the ESS is added after dropping the vowel. So what are the vowel words? Letters, you know that A, E, I, O, U are known as vowels. So after dropping the vowel or removing ER or OR, okay? Removing ER or OR at the end of the masculine gender. So in our first rule, we simply add ESS to the masculine gender. But in our second rule, we have to drop a vowel in that word or we have to remove ER or OR at the end of the masculine gender and then you have to add ESS to the masculine gender word to form a feminine gender. Is it clear to you? So we will see an example and it will make more clear. See here, prince. So prince is an example. So here it ends with what? Vowel letter, right? So you have to remove this vowel and then you have to add ESS to change it into a what? Feminine gender. Princess. So prince, princess. Prince na ilavarasar solluvaanga. Princess, ilavarasi. So prince, princess. Here the feminine gender is formed by dropping the vowel here and adding ESS to the masculine gender. So we will see another example too. Waiter. Waiter. So who is a waiter? If we go hotel ku porona, namakku வந்து என்ன food வேணும் அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு மென்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டு போவாங்க இல்லையா? So அவங்களுக்கு பேர் தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம்? Waiter. In many movies you can see some of them call us waiter come here like that. So he is a waiter or he is a waiter. It is a masculine gender. So if a waiter is in a female, then how will you say it? By just removing ER from it. Okay, you have to remove ER. We have two rules. One is dropping the vowel or remove ER or OR at the end of the masculine gender. Here you have to remove the ER and then you have to add OR plus you have to add ESS. Why here? Because waitress, the spelling changes completely. Waitress. So if a waiter is a female, you can call them as waitress. Okay. So see here waiter ER, but here we have RESS. So this is our second rule. So in this session you have learned how many gender types in English language. What are they? Masculine, feminine, common and neuter. And we have seen two rules how to change a masculine gender into a feminine gender. The first rule is you can simply add ESS to the masculine gender to change into a feminine gender. And our second rule is while you are adding ESS to certain words, you have to drop the vowel at the end or you have to draw ER or OR at the end of the masculine gender, and then you have to add ESS to the masculine gender to make it is a feminine gender. I hope this class will be clear to you, and in our next session we will learn another interesting topic. Thank you for watching.